Well, I truly agreed with what Mary Jane had said that popular music is part of culture industry. Well, that's right, because we are socially predetermined by our own choice of popular music.
Yes, Miss Hellas, I totally agree with you. I also agree with Miss Jane sa sinabi niya that people express what they feel through music. Hence, anyway, it is our pleasure to be one of the guest speakers in the Kajaming podcast today. I am Colleen and
I am Christine Helyes, and we are going to talk about the theory of Adorno's popular music, Cadillac, and Doo. But before we jump on our talk, we'll be right back after a short advertisement.
if you look, you will see the hook and the verse, a magical symphony of undeniable promise. The world is your instrument, so play it your way.
Our talk circling about the Gendron's critical assessment of Adorno's theory of popular music. Gendron looked closely on Adorno's ideas of popular music and made an evaluated assessment by applying it to doo music and other styles of pop music and car production. Adorno diagnoses two features of popular music such as the standardization and pseudo-individualization. Adorno analyzes the content of the serious music and states that the popular music is a kind of industrial standardization. So, to some extent, he is right. On the other hand, Gendron's analysis opens a way to fill the gaps in Adorno's analysis. Gendron makes a synchronic and diachronic distinction to understand. In this way, it must be stated that Gendron, in huge perspective, makes a good critic of popular music.
So, Gendron argues that the functional and textual artifacts are distinct types of consumption, leading to the rise of genres in popular culture and which promote their originality and interchangeability. So, although Adorno's concepts of diachronic standardization suggest that the popular music genres do not change, Gendron's division between core and peripheral is not universal. So, Gendron challenges the extent to which core and peripheral concepts can be applied to pop music. Popular musical forms such as ragtime, Dixieland, swing, crooning, bebop, rhythm and blues, doo-wop, rockabilly, girl group sound, surf music, the British invasion, folk rock, heavy metal, and punk have all come and gone in the 30 years of rock period. So Adorno's concept of diachronic standardization ignores how difficult it is to establish the standardized core of popular music apart from its changing styles and genres.
Hindi ko kailangan ng tissue. I don't need tissue. Please stop judging me. Please stop!
As of the moment, I am just waiting for my brain to pop because of all these informations.
Right, Mika? And just like in the ads presented before we start, I could hear the authors of the Frankfurt School shouting in Angelic's voice ng, "Please stop judging me! Please stop!"
I know, right? But let's be real, everything that we do in this planet can be judged. So to start off the critical assessment, here are the major points. The Frankfurt School has two main failings. The first one is the failure to provide empirical proof for its theories, meaning the theories they may have made lacks observation and experimentation. The second one is the obscure and inaccessible language, which gives us the idea that not everyone can grasp the teachings of the school. However, the school claimed that they are open to all the questions, especially to those who are having a difficulty in understanding. The school also defined the critical theory as a form of resistance to the commercial impulses of the capitalist production and the ideological hold of commodity fetishism, and equalize the capitalism to the eternal stability. But rationally, capitalism is not as stable as the school recognizes. Genres of popular culture are engaged in audience expectations, and studies have shown that the audience are more active and discriminating in regards to what they utilize rather than the culture industry presumes. The regressive listeners Adorno describes were not credible variables in terms of perceiving the audience method of interest in popular culture, And lastly, I am left with the question of how is it possible to distinguish between the false and true needs? And how can true needs be recognized?
Well, Mika, in here we can recognize the true or real needs that are inhibited by culture industry such as freedom, happiness, and utopia. False needs for popular culture, demands which are established by the culture industry. Before kasi, the revolutionary overthrow of capitalism and the establishment of socialism is in its place. This means that attempts to distinguish between false and true needs in an empirically relevant manner are never considered. While on the other hand, then Mika, there is a critique in Frankfurt School by Benjamin Walter. In assessing the Frankfurt School, you must look at his writings kasi he was once involved in the intellectual activities of the Frankfurt School, ano? Well, in the 1930s, Frankfurt School was also exiled by the Nazis to abuse their power. And according to the writings of Walter Benjamin, he says that the work of an art is in the age of mechanical reproduction. He wrote this in the mid-1930s and is regarded by some as one of the most seminal essays on popular arts in the 20th century. Of course, this book is originally published in the 1936. Well, Nika, in these writings din kasi, no, Benjamin's goal is to evaluate the effects of mass production and consumption, as well as modern technology and on the status of work of art, as well as the implications for contemporary popular arts and popular culture. Well, in art, it was once embedded in this fabric tradition, retained its aura apart from its ritual role in religious ceremonies. These ideas were taken to their logical conclusion in the mid to late 19th century, wherein they claim art for art movement. Well, this was in response to the rise of capitalist industrialization and cultural commercialization, as well as the threats they pose to the aura of the work of the art. Well, Nika, nag-result to, no? As Benjamin emphasizing the democratic and the participatory potential of contemporary popular culture rather than its authoritarian and repressive potential. So, yun lang naman yung natin sa Frankfurt School.
Wow, Jane! The talk was indeed a heavy but exceptional discussion na galing sa ating speakers. Grabe rin ang wisdom and sharing nila with relevance pa sa current events, no?
Yes, that was indeed a productive talk, Kali. Lalo na at pinag-isip din talaga tayo ng sobra eh. May mga paiwan pang questions eh. Paano tayo matutulog dito? Overthinker pa naman ako.
Grabe no, hasang-hasa talaga ang critical thinking skills dito sa mga ka-jamming natin. And with that, I hope mas naintindihan natin ang Frankfurt School and cultural industry.
We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and see you next week.
Goodbye!